Hey guys, looking at Funny Gun. I'm sure at this point there's a good chance you've probably seen more than one video on the Freedom Ordinates FG-15 on YouTube here. I have a couple myself, and if you're looking to find out more about the grip, you can check out my full review on this particular grip. If you want to know more information about how to mount it and set it up, I have a full video on that as well. But that's not what this video is going to be about. This video, as you've seen there in the title, is putting the FG-15 grip into the hands of the people. So what I mean by that is I decided to go over to my local gun store that has a range and just kind of wait till some people come in the store and give them an opportunity to try this grip out, just to show them how easy it is and just get their brief opinion on it. And I will say, as like any of y'all, if you walked into a gun store and not expecting to be in a YouTube video and not being used to talking on camera, you're going to kind of be a little awkward on camera, as you'll see with most of the people in this. Now, I will say the first guy that you see here that's coming up is really energetic about it, and he was real good on camera, and he was actually the most excited about trying this out. He had seen quite a few of the videos on it, and then everyone else was as well. It's just something new to them, really, other than Spencer, the guy that does On the Range. As you'll see me mention here in a second, he has a little experience with this because he helped me make some of the other videos that I have done with this particular grip so far. But I want to go ahead and head into the shooting portion of this, and I'll come back and kind of go a little bit more over people's opinions after me talking to them after the camera was off.
Well, wandered into my local gun store today, and I got offered the opportunity to try one of these crank style grips. I've always wanted to try one, hesitant on jumping on board or buying one because I was scared it would be kind of clunky or cluck feeling. So they're going to let me try it out. Safety off. Pretty nice, actually. It's not clunky. It doesn't lock like you think it would lock. I was really impressed with it, and it was very easy to stay on target. I just drilled that little rabbit out there. Still target, sorry y'all. It's still target rabbit, but I'm impressed with it. I like it. I'm interested in looking into one.
Ordinate. I like it.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to pick one of these up. That's awesome.
Okay, this is Spencer. Him and his dad actually own this gun store. You'll hear him say just a second. We need to get some of these. He's talking about some of them for people to shoot on their range here.
Some of those in here.
You're good.
Man, this is sweet. Where can I pick one of these up at?
FreedomOrdinates.com. Okay, like I mentioned before, if you just walked into a random gun store and was expecting to look at some guns, got asked to be in a YouTube video, you wouldn't know what to say on camera, or you'd be used to shoot or being on camera more than likely either. So I did get quite a few just brief on camera, yeah, it's cool kind of responses. But the first guy there that was able to try it out was somebody that I was pretty happy to let try it out because he has seen quite a few of the videos and is actually a subscriber to my channel and has seen my video and was actually pretty excited about trying this particular setup out. So he also was the one that was the best at kind of giving a review of it, as you've seen there, because he kind of had a pre-assumed way of what it was going to function like, and it ended up surprising him about how much smoother it was and how much easier it was to keep the gun on target while you were cranking it. And I thought that was pretty cool to give him the opportunity to try it out and kind of change his mind on a few of the things he was expecting it to be like. And everyone else had a positive aspect, experience with it as well. It's just they didn't know what to say on camera. I did talk to quite a few of them afterwards, and all of them did agree that it was smooth and quite a bit easier to keep on target than you would expect. Like the first guy there, that when he mentioned that he was hitting the rabbit with it, the rabbit target is, they have one at 50 yards, and I believe the other one's at 100. I'm assuming he was shooting the one at 50 yards, and he was just lighting it up. and it's not a big target by no means. It's roughly the size of an actual rabbit. So to me, that's pretty good testament to how accurate you can be with something like this if you got it set up the right way. And you also heard Spencer there, like I mentioned, say that he would like to get a couple of these to possibly put on some of his range guns. And what I mean by that is they have some guns in there that they let people shoot if you come into the store to kind of try out some of their products, that being they make suppressors, and they have a lot of guns with suppressors on them. So this would be something that'd be cool to throw on something like that because, excuse me, the difference in this and some of your other stuff that's similar to this, such as a binary trigger, is, in my opinion, this is a lot easier to show someone how to use than a binary trigger. And what I mean by that is if you've never messed with a binary trigger, if you do not pull the trigger all the way back and then you release it, you will not get the binary function every time. And that's because you're not pulling the trigger far enough back to get the binary to engage. So that's something it takes a little bit of a learning curve to get used to. You got to pull the trigger back farther in in binary mode than you would when it's in semi-automatic to get that to engage. And that's still something that I have an issue with sometimes, and I've shot binary quite a bit, being as I have a gun that has a binary trigger in it. So to me, that's kind of annoying, and the fact that you can get hammer follow depending on which version of the binary trigger you have is also something that I've had issues with, because you can outrun the trigger, and that is not something you're going to have an issue with this crank. And that is because the trigger acts as normal, and every time it cranks to the point where the trigger is pulled, it pulls the trigger, and then as you've seen there, the trigger went back forward, and that is when it resets, so you don't get any issue with outrunning it because it has plenty of time to go ahead and reset and engage properly. And when I say this is easy to use, basically what we did here in this video is when everyone come up to shoot, I kind of gave them an overview about how it worked, kind of the safety of it and everything, how this is the trigger, this is the trigger, either one of them will fire it, but this is a lot easier because it is protruding from the gun to bump it and fire it, so you got to go over safety with them, obviously. And then I went ahead and let them get comfortable with the gun unloaded, and you can go ahead and kind of dry fire practice with this by cranking it around and kind of getting used to holding the gun the way you want to and everything. That's something you also can't easily do with binary because you're going to have to rack the bolt each time. And with this, you can still crank it even with the hammer not down, and that makes this a pretty cool setup for that aspect. And then after letting them play with it, kind of dry fire, went ahead and loaded the gun, made it live, let them fire a few rounds, and then we turned the camera on, let them shoot it however they kind of wanted to there, get done, give me a brief review. And like I said, I did get quite a few just brief reviews, people standing up kind of like, oh, that's cool, I really like that. And then the first guy there, he was the most excited about shooting it, and he had the most to say about it because this is something he was wanting to check out. And then the last guy that you see me let shoot it there was also extremely excited about it, and I didn't tell him to say that. He just turned around when he got done and said, where can you get one of these at? And that's when I went ahead and said freedomordinates.com, and that is because that is where you can get one of these at. So if you're interested in something like this, you can check them out on freedomordinates.com. I do recommend them. You can go back and watch my full review on this. It kind of goes over a little bit more about it. And if you're interested, like I said before, of how to set it up and everything, I have videos on that. But I just thought it'd be kind of cool to take something like this and kind of get it in the hands of some people and let them mess with it. Kind of just do a little bit of a different video that I hadn't seen with it so far, and just kind of shows how easy it really is to learn how to use it and how well it works. On top of that, just from somebody picking it up and starting to mess with it. Another thing I will say about it is the more I've messed with it, the smoother it has become. And that's not saying much because it was almost smooth as glass before because it is riding on ball bearings. But I guess it's kind of just the finish on the inside of it, wearing in and everything. It has got a little easier to spin, and it is easier to pop out. And that is something you heard him mention, is it's a lot smoother than he was expecting it to be. He thought it was going to be kind of clunky, but it's not. It's really just a smooth action. As long as you're cranking it and you're not pushing it in a funky angle, it's just going to crank as smooth as you want it to. And to me, that makes it even cooler. So if this is something you're interested in, I definitely recommend checking them out. They're not hard to use. It's something you're going to have a good time with, and it's something you can actually get pretty good at laying some rounds on target pretty fast with. So that's all I really had for you today. Okay, if you made it this far, just want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're looking for more Fun and Gun right now, you can click one of the 2 recommended videos there. If you're looking for more Fun and Gun later, you can go ahead and click that there subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it. And if you're finding me from Facebook, go ahead and click that open app button at the top to make all that a lot easier, and I'll see you next time.